Hi, we're going to be looking at a couple of books here, and a couple of Chinese books, with Chinese derivation. The first is, of course, the age-old classic, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And he was a military strategist in the 6th century BC, BC China, and he his treatise has been since its inception has been embraced around the world, certainly in China, but also no less has it been embraced in the West. It has timeless advice. It has advice for just about every occasion in which war is waged, including laying plans, waging war. This is the table of contents. Tactical dispositions, energy maneuvering, terrain, attack by fire, use of spies, and so on. But within that, it doesn't read like a dry treatise that's not applicable to ordinary life. It obviously is. And you can pluck out anything randomly from this volume, and you can see how it can be applied to marketing strategies, sports. It can be applied to political campaigns, and can be and has been applied. So you'll see once you start looking at this, you see, well, you can see why it's a. For example, this is randomly chosen. Numerical weakness comes from having to prepare against possible attacks. Numerical strength from compelling our adversary to make these preparations against us. You can apply that to your own. You can apply that to your own personal situation, should you so choose. This is how universally applicable this remarkable little volume is. So keep your eye out for this. And this is a handsome volume given to me by a Chinese friend of mine. And if you keep your eye out for Sun Tzu and be aware of who's quoting him, you'll see that he appears quite frequently, and in front of movies, quoted in books, and you will not be surprised why that is so once you read the book. The second book we're going to look at is another book from a Chinese writer, Wild Swans. And this is a remarkable book. I almost want to say you don't need to read any other book including Henry Kissinger's book for Chinese history in the last 100 years. Yung Chang, the writer, does a remarkable job here. And she follows, as she says, 3 daughters of China. That's her mother and her grandmother and herself. And it starts with her grandmother, who was a concubine with bound feet 100 years ago. Well, more than that now, 125 years ago, at the end of the empire. And follows up through her daughter, that is her grandmother's daughter, who was a ardent communist official, embraced that. And she tracks, the author does, she tracks what happened, how these changes came in to affect her family, her mother, her grandmother. And then leads right up to herself, carefully through 500 pages. Remarkable writing, very well done. No lag points, interesting facts on every page. Doesn't get bound down in policy, but explains how policy affects the characters, her family. This is not a novel; it's a memoir or a family history. But because they were rather high placed, her father, the author's father, had a high position in the Communist Party. She was privy to the author. She was privy to a lot of information, a better perspective than most people would have. Anyway, it follows right up to her involvement in the Red Guards, and there's hardly a thing we wouldn't know otherwise, but there's hardly a thing she leaves out. She's quite frank, and with the good and the bad. So this is a volume that's just completely engrossing. And if you want to know what China was like until recently, she wrote this as well in English. She's an incredible writer, and a very good writer in English. I was looking for the translation attribution. There is none. She wrote it herself. And very well done too. So I recommend this as a very good book to look at, read through. You'll be as engrossed as I was, and come away with a really thorough history and a quite better understanding of what happened to China in the last 100 years.